Hill Valley Academy was opened in September 2018 with the primary purpose of offering the highest standard of education to all students in Sierra Leone. In 2018, the school was accredited by the Ministry of Education. We do have in the studio Zainab Bashir, who's the principal, Hill Valley Academy. She's here to talk about the school, their activities, and definitely a fundraising event which we will delve into. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you very much. A great pleasure to be here. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So let's begin with some context from your words. Tell us about Hill Valley Academy.
Okay. By not being biased, Hill Valley Academy is the most amazing school in the world. It's a school opened in 2018, as you rightly said, located at Mambo, of the peninsula there. And it is a school which I believe we have a certain positive ethos and values, which is basically to make Sierra Leone great again as far as education is concerned. I start from nursery right up to 17, 18-year-old, the A levels. And what I actually do there, the IGCSE O level and A level Cambridge qualifications. So this is what we do there at Hill Valley. Yeah.
And since 2018?
Yes.
How many?
Fairly new.
It's very new.
Fairly new.
But
yes.
How will you rate the impact of what you've been doing with pupils who come to the school?
Very good question. I think one of the things we pride ourselves at doing at Hill Valley Academy is, although it's a fairly big school, geographically, it still has an intimate feel to it, and we really try to inspire our students with a sense of responsibility and a sense of pride and also a sense of confidence. My big thing is confidence and good manners, academic excellence, but that has to go with a sense of responsibility, what you can give back to your society, to the country, and so on, and just being generally a well-rounded human being. So that's really our philosophy at Hill Valley.
Well, let's talk about your curricula. How different is it from other schools around?
Yes.
Subject?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so as I said, we offer the Cambridge curriculum. Okay. And this means I don't do BECE and I don't do WAEC. Oh. No, I don't. It's quite, there are several schools in Sierra Leone who do that. So it's an internationally recognized education. Mm-hmm. And this is important because often students want to pursue higher education outside of, Sierra Leone or West Africa. And they need to have qualifications that are recognized and valued and given, really accepted, I should say. So we do the Cambridge IGCSE, and we also do the Cambridge A level, and we do the Cambridge checkpoint, and so on. So that's the difference. But we do have, for example, in my primary school, which is what I'm here to talk about, we do actually intermingle, like the history we do with Sierra Leonean history and West African history. So the curriculum actually gives you the scope to add, national subjects of importance within it. Yeah.
You sound quite exotic.
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 Okay.
Perhaps someone would say, this could be a very expensive school. Can one afford
Do you know, thank you for bringing that up. Let me speak directly to my audience. This is one of the biggest misconceptions about Hill Valley. I sound exotic. I'm not sure how to take that. I don't know, but I think I just sound normal. But please, I'm saying to our audience out there, I'm not going to kid you. It's not like a local school. Yeah. Obviously, it's perhaps expensive for quite a large amount of the population. But there are other things we do anyway, which I can talk about later to kind of counterbalance that. But we are not as expensive as the other schools which offer the same thing. That's all I can say. What I actually ask people to do is come and talk to us, come and see, find out the information. Don't just say, hey, that school day is so expensive, don't buy into that. come in, talk to us, see what we actually do and the value that you get for money. And I have parents who say to me, my goodness, this is so much more affordable than we think. So I'd say to you, come and speak to us anytime. Our doors are open. It's quite affordable.
And how do you do admissions? Because you've mentioned starting from primary to the ages of 17 to 18.
18, yes, to the A
level. But how do you do admissions? Because you've just mentioned there's no BECE.
No, absolutely. Okay, so in fact, I start from nursery, so which we call our pre-primary. So from 3 years old, it's not quite a daycare, so don't bring me any babies. They have to be at least 3 years old. And so we take them through. So how we do admissions, obviously we have open admissions throughout the year because often students change schools for whatever reasons, or perhaps they move from abroad or whatever. But our main admission period is in the month of August. So we don't do BECE, but that doesn't mean we don't accept the BECE results. Okay. So a student, so there are different admission points. Obviously, we have a standardized test that we do internally in maths and English only. Everything else we can work with. So a student takes that, and if they meet a certain standard, then we admit them to the class, or maybe we recommend they go a year back. But for the BECE admissions, please don't wait. If you're thinking of coming to Hill Valley, don't wait until your results come out, because there's a time lapse. We open in September. Try and come to us in August. Do our internal set assessment, and if you pass that, we will, admit you. Because often by the time BECE comes, we've missed 3 months of term. So we do an internal admission and an interview with myself or the directors of studies or one of the heads of departments.
What would you say is one of the biggest challenges you've encountered in running the school?
Wow. Well, I could say I need to be careful with this one. I need to be careful. Look, running a school is a fluid process. Nothing is ever the same. Every day, this is why I'm an educationist by choice. You can actually see the enthusiasm, because I do believe I have the best job in the world. It's fluid, so some days there are different challenges. Sometimes you have challenges with the fees. Parents, whatever happens, so there are those financial challenges. But then you sit, you have a discussion, and you do what you need to do. Sometimes the challenge could be, okay, well, how do I achieve certain targets? So it's fluid, it's different, but each challenge is an opportunity to do better and to learn from whatever challenges you encounter.
And you're also known to have one of the best labs in the schools.
Yes.
Is that so?
This is so. This is absolutely so. We are big on the sciences, and we have specific labs for biology, chemistry, physics, and yes, they're well equipped. They're there to be used, and in fact, what we do proudly at Hill Valley is we do actually let other institutions use our labs, because we do believe, schools, that there has to be some kind of collaborative element for all the good of Sierra Leonean children. And this is really an ethos and value that I want to really emphasize, because it's absolutely true. So we also have a brilliant auditorium which holds up to 2,000 people. We have a brilliant field. If you've been there, it's a bit dusty, but you can play on it. And we actually let schools in the peninsula who perhaps are not have as many resources as we do actually use these free of charge for their sport and for their graduations and so on. So we do have that value to give back to our community and society.
Would you also want to talk to us about the location?
Yes, I think maybe this is our challenge a little bit. We're located in Mambo. Do you know where Mambo is? You do? Yeah. Congratulations. I didn't know where Mambo was before 5 years ago when I took office at Hill Valley as principal. But yes, we're located Mambo, and what that means is we have a lot of space. Our campus is very, very big, very, kind of accessible. But a lot of people feel that, oh, this is too far, or I cannot take my child there. But of course, we have a super bus service. We have buses. You might have seen the Hill Valley Academy buses which run. So we do take that into consideration. So starting from Congo Cross, and then we have a Lumley pickup, and various. So if we expand more and more, then of course we'll try and put on a bus service to take the children to school. So we've got bus bringing them in the morning and taking them back home in the afternoon.
Invariably, all institutions of academia are proud, or rely on their alumni,
Yes.
you know, to succeed in life.
Yes.
And, it's something, perhaps should I say, it's the holy grail of what you do.
Yeah.
How do you track success, you know, of your alumni in school?
Very interesting question. First of all, remember I'm only 8 years old. So the word alumni is it's very dear to my heart, but I don't have so many.
Okay.
As you know, in the past, you know, month to year, we've had grammar school 180 years, PO 100 years, Hill Valley Academy 8 years, but we'll get there. So this means that the cohort that graduated, I arrived in 2020, and then, you know, there was COVID 2021. We had our first cohort actually graduating, and these guys are just actually graduating now from university. So, you know, we're not there yet where I can tell you, or how do we track them? I can tell you, because we're still quite small. They call me, they come to see me, I call them, I check on them. But we do have a system that we're implementing, obviously, with registration numbers and so on. And that is something definitely we have to take on board, that we have to keep track of all our alumni. But at the moment, there's still that family feel to it because we're so new and so small. But I don't have a significant alumni to speak of yet because of the duration of how long we've been around. The
pride of our institution also borders around the quality or type of staff it employs.
Yes.
What kinds of teachers do you have?
Yes, this is a very, 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 very important question. And kudos to all the teachers in Sierra Leone who are actually teaching because they have a love of the profession. I have to say that in the past, I have found this a little bit difficult because I find that people don't go into teaching for the love and as a career choice. Often it's a stepping stone to something else, let's be honest. For whatever reason, perhaps they feel that the remuneration, all these host of things, which, you know, I'm not here to discuss. I need to discuss this with other principals, perhaps. So what we do is we go through a very, very rigorous interview process. And let me tell you, there are not many teachers because all the institutions are vying for the same, you know, good teachers. So we go through a very rigorous interview process before we open for September with my directors of studies, my HR, sometimes myself, and sometimes the proprietor sits in these. And we ask the questions, we ask them to do a mini teach, and we give them a 3-month probation period. But it's not easy, I have to be honest, but what we have to try and do is to make the institution good enough for them to want to stay in, because it's a two-way street, isn't it? And that starts at the minimum, at the human level, how you interact with your staff, how you treat them, how you solve so many other problems outside of that. But we do try our best. But at the minute, we're using Sierra Leonean teachers, and that's important to us. At best, I train them. They go through the Cambridge training, Cambridge curriculum, and we train them to become better. Our strategy at the moment is not to bring teachers from abroad, because we do believe strongly we've got them here. We just have to, you know, maybe work with them. Yeah.
And you are here essentially to talk about expansion and growth.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
What levels are you expanding? What new classes are you adding to this?
Thank you. Okay, well, at the minute, Hill Valley Academy opened with just 13 students in 2008. And now we have over 550 students. 2018, sorry, not 2008. The expansion, so we have a building now, fairly big, which holds pre-primary, which is our nursery, our primary, and our secondary. So they're all in a building. It's not overcrowded, essentially, because it's so big. There's so much space there. But however, as a principal, on behalf of my proprietor as well, the primary and nursery kids need a different kind of environment, to be fair. This environment needs to be visually stimulating in terms of color. It needs to have all the pedagogical tools they need. They need the playground, all these things. So we don't have that at the moment because where their house was purposely built for secondary school. But we have embarked on a big expansion since we opened to build a purpose-built nursery and primary school. So that's what the expansion is about. The buildings are done, they're 80% done, and this will be really a super primary and nursery environment that we want our children to move into. So this is what the expansion is taking taking place now physically to move them. It's on the same site, but just, you know, a bit further down the hill.
So for both nursery and primary
yes,
school?
Yes, and primary. And maybe a lot of parents are saying we should also embark into daycare, but we'll see. Low lift and force. We'll see. That's actually tough, huh? Daycare is not easy. Daycare parents are the most demanding parents you'll ever find, and so they should be. And the ratio of teacher to child at daycare is much, you know, higher. But anyway, so that's the expansion we're embarking on.
So how far have you come with raising funds for this? Because it's an ambitious project.
It's very ambitious. So far, to be honest, we have done most of it on our own. Our proprietor really is so committed to this project and making education really fantastic for all children in Sierra Leone, that he has poured a lot of his own personal wealth, and also the school funds. In the past, you know, 8 years, everything has been used for this building. So now we're at a stage where pretty much the exterior, the buildings are done, but we need to equip it inside with the smart boards that I want, with the lab that I want, with the library that I want, that the children deserve, I should say, with the playground also that they deserve. So this is where towards the end stages now, and we really need some help and support from, you know, everybody out there, because I think it will be a very big benefit to many children within the country. So.
Let's talk about fundraising events.
Yes. So our fundraising event, this is actually the first one we're embarking. So if you have any tips, please let me know. As you can imagine, I'm a little bit anxious, not scared. I don't get scared of many things, but a little bit anxious. It's the first one. And it's taking place on the 26th of April. So it's that Independence Day weekend, I know, but you know, come there. And it's an event to raise funds. That's the primary aim, so that we can complete the building project and move in before September. I honestly don't want to, you know, I have sleepless nights about this, about my children, you know, not having somewhere to be the best that they possibly can be. So that's on the 26th. It will be a fundraising dinner, corporate dinner, held at Hill Valley Academy. And I really encourage everybody to come. There'll be a chance for you to network, entertainment, comedy, good food, and really learn a little bit about what we do. So ticket prices, I'm not sure, do we have the QR code or the prices going through the screen? Yeah, so perhaps you can scan that and see. So the prices of the tickets actually start from 1 million. Which is a bronze ticket, and then we have 2 million silver, and then we have gold at, then we have patron ticket at 5 million. That's it. That's for two.
So you mean
so
1,
no, we've got
000?
1,000. My bad. Yes.
The new Leones.
Yeah. Yes. Excuse me. So 1,000 for bronze, then 1,500 for silver, 2 million for the gold, 1,000, and then 5,000 patron, which is 2. Okay, and then after that we move to the tables, of course, and I'm definitely expecting AYB to have a very massive table there. You all deserve it, don't you? So you can come and enjoy yourself. So we have tables, of course. We've got a gold table, which is at 7 million, and that sits 5. And then we've got a silver table, which sits 7. And I think that's at, I'll check in, a silver table. And then we've got a platinum table at 15 million, which sits 10. And then the one above that at 10 million sits 8. So, you know, come, and then we've got the corporate packages, which are separate to that one. So really, it's not a children's event as such. You can bring your children if you want. It's an adult event to come and enjoy yourselves, hear what we do, network with some other people, and hopefully connect with us and, you know, spend and donate on something which would, you know, beneficial not only to Hill Valley students. Please don't forget that we do take our responsibility within the community very seriously, and a lot of students who do not cannot access our school fees do have certain access to our resources. And eventually we're also planning on building a library, actually, which locals, you know, can come and use. So that's that. So I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward
to communities.
It will be, yes. We're not at the library stage yet, but that is. But the other things are open to the community now. So I'm looking forward. Are you two going to come? You'll see.
Victor.
We could come.
You could come, thank you. You've heard. So you could come, but seriously, but also it's an opportunity for people to just know who we are.
Yeah.
So that all the assumptions and all the barriers, you know, can be broken, I think. So I'm looking forward to it, yeah.
Beginning to get a sense of the joy that your, you know, pupils feel, you know, dealing with you on a daily basis. You seem quite invested into your business. It's quite phenomenal.
I love hard, and I also, what do I say? I also, when they don't do the right thing, they also know me. So obviously, I have an open door policy. All my students will tell you. I tell them you have to be confident, but you have to be well-mannered in everything that you do. You have to be humble. So a Hill Valley student, you can pick them you can tell, and I really like that about my students. They're my greatest joy. Thank you, students. Thank you, parents, for choosing Hill Valley Academy. Yes, I do say that we're a different school because we're actually invested in the holistic approach to the students, their well-being, how they feel, what could be going on, and this goes right through my nursery, my director in primary, my secondary director. So we do go the extra mile because it's not easy being a child all the time, is it? Yes, so sometimes you do need that extra support, which thank you for saying that. I believe they get that from us at school.
And definitely we could see and feel the enthusiasm. However, I want to ask, you know, since we're all babies,
yes,
you just started in 2018. What are plans in place for sustainability? I ask this with one of the good schools in mind as well, SOS, Minor International School.
Yes, of course.
When they started, there was so much standards. And we know with education in Sierra Leone as well, there's always, we've seen a drop in standards, how schools are run, how the compound is kept clean. And from the pictures we can see on screen, you could tell how beautiful the compound looks, how clean it looks all the time. How do you ensure monitoring, keeping the place, sanitation is on top, and, you know, like I asked, sustainability?
Interesting. I've had parents and students who've made the decision to come to Health Valley because of how clean the bathrooms were. You know, so definitely, I don't know really what to say, because that sustainability, keeping what you've started is paramount. First of all, first and foremost, in terms of the education, the standards, remember that I am Cambridge accredited and I'm Edexcel Pearson accredited as well, the only school in Sierra Leone with both these accreditations. So they have standards, and if I don't keep those standards, you know, they can come and inspect me at any time. So just on that level, at the top level, if I don't keep up those standards, then there are consequences. I could lose my accreditation. And the standard that I want to talk about, apart from the visual cleanliness and so on, is actually making sure that the exams are credible, the examination process, that there's no leakage, that there's no papers being sold to students, and we know that it happens, that there are no papers. So that at the top of the level is the biggest strength that we have so far, alhamdulillah. And for me, it is the single most important thing. So making sure the rigidity, the kind of value of those exams are kept. The other things, well, I have a team of maintenance people who know their jobs. They're there to, if you don't have cleaners. Mind you, students at Hill Valley clean their classrooms. If you don't know this one, this is it. At the end of the day, yes, they clean their classrooms. They clean their classrooms, they sweep it, they change a bit, and this is part and parcel of their routine. They have to do that, and they have classroom monitors and all the rest of it. So sometimes if you come at the end of the day, you'll see class clean. Japanese students do it. Go on YouTube, you'll see the videos of Japanese students. So it's not really a big deal. And I think students should do that, to have that humility and to respect the environment around you. Sustainability-wise, we are also planning a boarding school. I have a lot of space, so the boarding school buildings are also already there, to have a boarding school down at that area, because sometimes parents travel. Sometimes parents, in fact, are abroad and they cannot send their child, you know, issues of, or they just want them to come and have the African experience. So this is what we're also planning to do, to have the boarding school. So hopefully that should come next year, maybe even before. So you sustain by keeping your standards up, and you know, and then when I walk, they say, hey, the mommy, they come. Because I do kind of notice everything, but in a good way. But you train people to also notice. You can't do things on your own. Yeah.
It seems
so
you've got your fingers stuck in so many pies.
So many pies, so many pies. Alhamdulillah.
What's the long-term vision, you know, you have for the school? What's the vision?
Wow. Let me close my eyes. No, I'm joking. A long-term vision, of course, is to increase my numbers. This is paramount, because when you talk about sustainability, this is really the key. We have to embark on a super advertising campaign, which starts now, and also with this fundraiser, so people are very much aware of our existence, what we do, and how we do it, and how well we do it. Of course, once this primary is open and it gets underway, I think things will open up very much. That's a long-term plan. And then also the boarding school, opening that is a long-term plan. Long-term plan, I don't know if I'll be at Hill Valley or not, is to perhaps have a university, have some kind of vocational institute or something of that sort. So the vision is to really expand. And also even longer plan is to make it accessible for those who cannot pay. What I just need to make clear is Hill Valley Academy is actually a mission. And proprietor has actually, Hill Valley does not belong to him. It actually belongs to a mission. And when we are settled and we have all the money rolling in, a lot of that is going to go back into community and doing good things. So the long-term vision is to have the mission running, obviously via the school, and to do a lot of good works within the country. Really, it's important to us.
How do you support learners' mental health, emotional development, and well-being?
Okay. Very important question, and very necessary. Students nowadays are so in tune with mental health. You have, you know, sometimes my daughter tells me, oh, Mom, you need a mental day, you know, so just go. So indeed, you know that the mental goes very hand in hand with your achievement. So we support them by actually talking. We have plans to have a counselor, but honestly, I say this, I'm looking for the right individual and individuals. This is very important. Somebody who has a balance of modernity, but at the same time can obviously communicate with our children, but at the same time understands our ethos and values as a society in Sierra Leone, and so on. So we support them by having our doors open, myself, my proprietor, and my teachers. Each class has a dedicated teacher, so the students know that they have a first time call. I've got a team of nurses at Hill Valley. I've got four nurses there who support the children. So the children always have somebody to talk to, and we encourage them to come and talk, to come and discuss. So, yes.
I wanted to ask this, perhaps a silly question.
Okay.
Can a pupil fail at Academy?
Of course they can. Okay, you mean, do we just have automatic promotion? Is that the question?
I mean, in most cases, depending on the money you pay for fees, then...
So I'm going to say, yes, they can fail, and they do fail. So what has happened is, as we go along, remember we're 8 years old, we kind of look and see what works and what we need at a school. Ultimately, what we want are the standards, okay, to be at the top. So sometimes a child comes to you and they're just not ready for that class. You know, Hill Valley Academy, we're doing overseas qualifications, and sometimes depending if they come from good schools like SOS, and some of them do, they can fit in. But perhaps if they're coming from other schools, it is a bit difficult for them to access our qualifications. So then you have a conversation, the parents go back a year. Okay? And if they don't agree, I make them sign a little document that says, if my child, if you insist they stay in this class, we reserve the right to have them not promoted. That is, I have that, it's a parent-school contract. It is written there in black and white. And of course, some they say, oh, can't I, man, Zainab, I go get extra teacher, so depending, sometimes I just say no, because I know better. But yes, so to answer your questions, at the end of the academic year, we have promotional exams. And yes, if students don't promote, they don't promote. And I have to tell you that last year was responsible for me losing a large chunk of students because their parents just could not fathom the thought that we're asking them to repeat. Now, repeat doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Students all develop at a different pace.
Yeah.
You know, there are different challenges. So you as a parent, you need to be able to listen to the experts. The object to repeat is not to get one more year of school fees, really. Okay, it is to make sure that ultimately when that child comes to sit public exams, then they will, you know, they will do the best that they can. So yes, straight, directly, yes, they can fail. But I don't like to use the word fail. We can say that they can repeat or that they can, and obviously I have a conversation with each child in that position, say, listen, and some of them, very enthusiastic, they go back, they repeat the year, and then they, or sometimes what we offer remedial classes in the summer. It depends how many subjects you failed and how bad you failed by. If it's just 2, 3, you know, marks, then we offer remedial classes, and then you come back and retake those subjects, and then you can promote to the next year. So yes.
So how involved are the parents in the life of the school, not just in paying fees, maybe volunteering or other activities?
It's mix and match. It depends. I mean, parents in Sierra Leone are very busy. And sometimes I do a little bit of telling off to say, seriously, your child has been here so long, this is the first time I'm meeting you, because I want the parents to be invested. You know, we want them, you're smiling. Is this bad?
No, it's
is this
not.
a bad thing to
you
say?
You actually just bring something to mind.
You don't know your teacher.
School, everybody in the school knew my mom. They thought she was a teacher.
Of course. It is so important. So what I do, I have twice a year. Okay, so I have what I call parents-teacher conferences twice a year, first term and second term, because in Hill Valley Academy we have two semesters. So at that date on a Saturday from 9 o'clock to 1 or 2 or 3, it's open house. So each parent goes to desk by desk by desk, and you meet the teachers. They give you the report, and they give you a report on your child. So at that point, most parents come to meet the teacher, but some don't. They send nannies, or they send somebody else, or whatever, or they don't even turn up at all. But on the whole, it's such an open door policy. They can come at any time, and they can so they're welcome basically to be involved. We have nothing to hide, but I have to say this involvement has to be in a productive way. You cannot just be involved in a selfish way, because what might work for your child or what doesn't work for your child may work for the rest of the other children. So I love my Hill Valley parents, shout out to you, but sometimes they have to realize that I cannot just change rules just specifically for you. And sometimes when they're on a high, they need to come, and then we have a conversation. So in the hall, or they complain to the, but by the time they come to my office, they're pretty calm. And then I just make them see the other point of, you know, the other point of the equation. But, you know, we're offering a service. Parents are our clients, as are the children, so we have to do our best to accommodate, you know, within reason. But I love all my parents. They've become, you know, they call you for the oddest things, you know, things which have nothing to do in school. Hey, Madam Zainab, this pick here, talk to her. Hey, Madam. So stuff like, which is nice. And sometimes I, you know, go to the houses and take a video of the room that's not clean. Say, if you don't fix this up, I'm posting this. You know, so things like that work. We do a lot of intervention like that. It's nice.
Any success story you might want to share with us?
For my students?
Yes, since 2018.
Wow. At the moment, I've got about 10 Hill Valley students in Cyprus on scholarship, because I have an MOU with the university in Cyprus, Cyprus International University. They approached me, and I send students there on scholarship from Hill Valley. I've got 2 students, they're doing medicine, they're in their 3rd year now, they're on a 50% scholarship there. I've got students doing nursing in Cyprus who are on a 70% scholarship. I've got 2 engineers, and I've got some doing computer science. So these are my success stories as far as after the A levels are concerned. But hey, success story, every single child who overcomes whatever barrier it is, it's a success story. You know, at the end, we celebrate this success. Every Friday I have something called Student of the Week, where the teachers have to tell me what student has done. You cannot tell me nobody has done anything great in that week. And we have the assembly, and I give them money, not a course, not a money thing. I read them a certificate and saying something very nice what they achieved. So we do celebrate that success across the school. And it doesn't only have to be for academics. Sometimes you get students hitting 100% in exams, this, that, and the other, but also the students who've grown, that disorganized child who's now organized, that child who fought so hard. Last math exam, they got 10, and this time they've hit 50. For me, that's a bigger success than the one who got 95 and now at 100, if that makes sense. So we try and celebrate that on a weekly basis, Do
you have school clubs?
Yes, we have school clothes uniform.
School clubs.
School clubs. We have a science club which was launched a couple of months ago. We have a drama club for the primary, lower primary, but the science club is the main one. But yes, clubs are definitely, so our school day is so packed. We need to try and look at that maybe after school to have some clubs, but we've got science club at the moment. Yeah.
What does a school day look like at Hill Valley?
How much longer am I on here for? But thank you, you're doing great. I'm not quite as anxious as I was when I came in. So I found you 2 on the phone. I thought, oh, they're not being nice to me. But anyway, you're doing, what does a school day like? Okay, so they come in on the buses and, you know, so there it starts. Obviously on the buses, you're communing with your friends, their teachers on the bus. They come out of the bus. Normally our proprietor, Mr. Omar Jallo, is there waiting for them, and I'm normally stood up on the balcony saying, where's your uniform? Is red part of my uniform? Is where, you know, just saying hello, saying hi, or you look nice, you know. So we do that. We usher them in, and so depending on if it's an assembly day, I have 2 assemblies a week. At 8 o'clock we start our assembly, and we separate because it's a big school. Different. The primary goes one day pre-primary, and then secondary. I'm usually in secondary assembly, but I do try and make my way to the other ones. And then the school starts at about 8:20. Then they have, you know, different periods a day of 40-minute periods. I think it's 8 periods per day. And then there's lunch, there's break. So a normal school day. It's, you know, and all the normal things that happen in a school. What school did you attend?
I attended SOS and Beacon High School.
Beacon. And yourself?
The government Rukel and East African Methodist College.
Okay, nice. Okay, so school, you know what goes on in school.
I'm an associate Prince William, by the way.
Yes, yes.
On behalf of my CEO.
Yes.
I said I'm an associate Prince William on behalf of my CEO.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes, of course. I know they were very excited.
The grammar school as well.
Well, another thing that we do at Hill Valley, I was talking to you about actually sharing our resources. Prince William's, you know, they had their march. I know you've all heard about it last week. Actually, for 3 days, their band was camping out at my school at Hill Valley. They were using my space to practice. They approached me. I said, okay, I've got the space provided. So they were there. So it was nice for me to actually see a live band in motion. They even, you know, played for me. It was very, very exciting. So please we do have, you know, we can come to some agreement on that level. So normal school day, bumps and grinds, lots of joy, lots of laughter, lots of success.
We're about to leave you, although we do not wish to, given how stimulating the conversation.
Come and see me. Come and see me. Even if you will come to the fundraiser, come and see me. Anyway, come and see. Come. This is all real. It's not for TV purposes. It's, yeah. Yes. So tell me.
There's just one question here. Someone is asking whether you're catering for students with special needs.
Yes. Gosh, this is so important. Yes, we do, but each special need is different, okay? So please ask that person, if you're listening, come to school and talk to us. In the primary, we do it very well. We've got a special needs room, we've got special needs assistants. In the secondary, we're trying to develop that to an even better standard. We just started it this year, secondary, and this can involve things like reducing certain aspects of the curriculum, depending on what the need of the child is. Yes, we are able to accommodate them. Excuse me.
Right. Oh. Well, Madam Zainab, we actually would want to wish you all the best. Very well, by the way. I mean,
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Where you'd started, it's quite a... You're still in your embryonic stages,
yes, we are.
but very potent.
Yes.
You know, I mean,
it's
truly commendable.
Yes, thank you.
Particularly the scholarship area.
Yes,
I think, you assisting your students to gain admission to universities.
And have plans for other
plans
for other universities. I won't disclose yet, but in other countries, definitely, for sure. So, just come to our fundraiser. And we'd love to see you all at Hill Valley Academy. Really just come and see what we're about. Don't believe what you hear. Well, believe some. Don't believe what you hear. Come and find out for yourself. Come and see us at school. It's on the 26th. We'd love to see you for an evening of fun, entertainment, good food, networking, and hopefully lots of success by the end of the evening. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much indeed. She's Zainab Bashir, and she's the principal of Hill Valley Academy. Thank you very much indeed for gracing our studios this morning. We do hope to be seeing you often, if at all you can come.
I want to come on your cooking program.
You love to cook?
I want to come on the cooking program. Maybe I'll learn something to eat. Maybe I'll learn something. Maybe I'd love something. Maybe I'll learn something. But yes, thank you very, very much for having me. So it's Madam Zainab saying goodbye. Thank you very much.